We have a very important talk to discuss today. We've had a lot of important talks recently, but today, I mean, the synchronicities and the confirmation that this is all divinely led has been coming through so loudly and like so obviously. And this is what happens, and you probably know this already, but like when you start stepping into alignment with source, but with your truth, with your authenticity, with your path, your soul, your higher self, like whatever you want to call it, your alignment with your truth, things start happening really quickly, but also things start happening really synchronistically as ways of confirmation. And so I just keep getting it. Now I'm getting chills. I just keep getting it over and over. Also, it's like, wow, windstorm right now. I'm really hoping that this mic can handle this. We'll see. I apologize if it's a little bit windy, but there are a few things that I want to try and bring through in this message, and a lot of it has to do with identity and like who you are in the chosen timeline, and how that is like such a different experience than what we could ever prepare for when you start stepping into it. And so you start going on this journey, right? You choose with your free will what it is that you desire, and you get your heart and your mind into alignment. We talk about this a lot, and like how to quantum manifest based off of reality transurfing, which is a great book. And then you start doing like your exercises, your subconscious reprogramming. Maybe you download my app, NŌVÉ, which is live on Apple and Android. I'm so excited about it. It is literally for stepping into your chosen timeline, regulating the nervous system, rewiring your mind, using your own voice. It's like so powerful and so life-changing for myself and for so many people who are already in it. So you can go download that. It's linked in the description, also the first comment. But it's like when I think back to California, my life in California before whatever this is, trust falling into the universe. Like I'm in Portugal right now, living in a tent just because of toxic mold, but also it's part of the story and part of the way to the chosen timeline. And I know that, and I see that, and I feel that, and I have so much confirmation about that, and I trust that, and I feel so much better since being in this environment. But what I have been experiencing, like I had therapy today, and then also like my therapist is just like amazing, and we're just on the same thought patterns, which is just so divine that we were brought together. This isn't a sponsored video, but you guys know, like it's a really special connection that I have. I'm so grateful for it. And so we had our session, and then I did a guided meditation on YouTube again, because I've been doing that. Like when I'm in NŌVÉ, I am like critiquing it and like always like finding ways to improve it or fix it, or like some things like maybe fall apart. And so like I'm listening for those things, so I'm having a hard time like just being in it. So I've been doing some guided meditations on YouTube, and it's been so like the things that are being said in them, it's kind of like when I had my first spiritual awakening. And I know a lot of you have had this as well. I've seen it in your comments, but like YouTube has been such a platform for spiritual awakening for me. I feel like sometimes, and you probably get this often, like I know people have shared with these videos especially, like sometimes you'll like click on it randomly, and then like whatever is being said in the video, the vlog, the guided meditation, it like connects the dots for you, or it confirms something, or it's like it feels like it was written for you. So I've been having that, and I didn't realize this part of the identity was like so important, because if you guys have been following along, like I'm really trying to decide which country to live in, and like that has been such a big thing for me. And I'm like, why is it that like I keep getting a yes for this, and yes for California, yes for Colorado, yes for Portugal and Italy and Sri Lanka, and like all these places. I'm like, how could it just be a yes everywhere? But it's brought me to this place of surrendering to source and to connecting and attaching to, sorry, I see an ant. I really don't want to have ants in here. But it's brought me to this place of like trusting the unfolding. And I think like in my search of trying to figure out where to live, because it's not like my life is like designed where I would have you know, a job taking me somewhere or anything. Like, I have to decide where to go. And that's such a beautiful thing to have. But it's also like a lot goes into that. A lot goes into, okay, who am I? Like, you have to start there. Who am I? Am I someone that feels better when I'm around like a culture that is built around music and food and like, you know, regional specialties? And Italy is like that, Portugal is like that, a lot of European places are like that, a lot of places in general are like that. Or am I someone that really values like an expat community? Or am I someone who really values being away from the matrix like altogether and being on an island somewhere? And you have to get to know yourself in a whole new way. However, when you're going through a transformation and you're stepping into your chosen timeline and you are experiencing the quantum leap, which is like you chose where you wanted to go, and then the path that you've been brought on is like the quickest way, is kind of a really brief way of explaining it. So you choose and then life takes you there. And so I chose the life that I wanted. I chose that I wanted to have an online platform. I wanted to live free, to build a life where I have impact, where I have my animals, where I have horses. I always knew I wanted 2 dogs and a cat. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know I was going to get Aslan in Italy, or like have the rescue horses that my YouTube community helped me rescue in Italy, or that Duchess would just like randomly move herself into my van, which is my cat, Arlo, I have here. You can't really see him, but I already had him in California. But it kind of all came together. That's just a little example. And so now, because for the last, especially 6 months in this development process, I've been like really reprogramming my mind, I'm in this liminal space. And maybe you are too, or maybe you feel it coming, or maybe you're stepping out of it. But like, being in this liminal space, it's really interesting. Put it like that. Because part of me, part of my nervous system, a lot of this is about the nervous system, part of my nervous system is like, run back to the familiar, run, go back to California, go back to the US, go shopping in Whole Foods and Sprouts, do what's familiar. Or even like go back to the farm like in Italy, or go get a property right by the farm in Italy. Like that's familiar. And so I've been observing these really charged desires, and seeing that they're so charged in a way that feels like what we were talking about in the last video, that comes from like an attachment wound, but also like this dysregulation of like not trusting the path. And you have to, part of the quantum leap in how we talk about it is like, you have to trust. Like, that's the whole point. Everything that you face on the way to the timeline that you are choosing is going to require your trust. Trust is truth. Trust is remembering the divine. Trust is remembering the abundance that you are, the infinite abundance and the unconditional love that you truly are. It's bringing the truth through the illusions. And so when you're feeling that dysregulation, when you're feeling that I don't know, I'm going to run back to what's familiar, that's when you sit with it. You sit with the nervous system and you say, I am safe. I choose, you know, for me it's I choose God. I choose connection with God. I choose to surrender. I choose to be guided. I choose to trust my path. I choose to trust in the unfolding of my life. That is like such a big part of this right now, is trusting in the unfolding of your life. You're not doing this alone. You're not doing this alone. That's like something that the mind will continue to tell us, like when you're breaking free, right? I'm in a foreign country. I'm always in foreign countries. I'm like doing this alone in my mind, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not doing this alone. The forces that be, the unconditional love that is powering this all, the miracles that are behind that, like this whole existence is just like an absolute perfect miracle. Like, I'm not doing that. I have like a very small role in these things. I have to choose, yeah, and I have to respond, yeah, but the rest of it, like, it's unfolding perfectly. And so maybe someone needs to hear that right now, is like, you can trust in the unfolding of your life right now. It is taking you exactly where you're meant to go, and in this moment right now you are exactly where you're meant to be. Of course, part of me is like, why did I have to face toxic mold again? Like, while developing an app with everything that I learned that started with toxic mold, I'm like, why am I moving backwards? You're not moving backwards. You're not moving backwards. This is the exact, like, to be expected path going to your chosen timeline. All the things that cannot come with you come up, and then you pierce with the truth, pierce with the truth, pierce with the truth, rewire, alchemize, regulate. And then we arrive at this place of, who am I now? And that's what was happening today for me in these conversations and these moments of silence. I was like, I really deeply have been holding on to who I was. And that's so normal. Like, I've been through this before, like with my health journey. Like, it was my identity to be healing from Lyme, from mold. And when it came time to leave that chapter, because I started to feel better from nervous system regulation, brain retraining, brain rewiring, like all the method that is like part of the foundation in NŌVÉ, I had to like let go of that identity, and I had to extend her love, but also like grieve a bit and really let that go. And I think that this right now, the identity that I'm letting go, it's one of the hardest. I realized when I was sitting with it today, I think it's one of the hardest to let go, because it's like my deepest conditioning. It's California, it's the culture there, and I love California. I love my life there, life that I had there. But I love the norms. I love the, I don't know if it's gonna be too windy, the fitness culture, the wellness culture. What does it mean? I have a feeling, but I love the go-getter energy, the innovation, the luxury, all of that. Like, I really do, and it feels normal to me. It feels familiar to me, that kind of energy. And it also, everything that we're experiencing here is conditioning, and so it's just what I have been conditioned to know and to think is me on some level, but it's not me. And what we were talking about in therapy today is that if I went back, there is a high chance that like the part of me that I discovered here could be like almost silenced there, because it wouldn't really fit in that culture from what I've experienced. It could. There's a part of me that still is exploring, like, is it there? Am I supposed to become this and then bring it to California? Or am I supposed to like let go of those things that I became so attached to in a way about the US and continue on the journey? And so I was sitting here today asking myself, maybe it's Ireland, asking myself, like, who am I? Who am I now? Who am I? What are my interests? Like, where would I like to sit at a restaurant? What kind of restaurants do I like? What's my favorite color? Not that that's like really important, but like, how do I want to dress? What color hair do I want to have? It's not this. This is like healing from the blonde. I know one of you said that this is my best hair color, but I don't think so. It's been a year of colors, of exploring identities, and I've always changed my hair like my whole life. But like, who are you? Do you like the ocean? Do you like lakes? Do you like hiking? Do you like luxury? Do you like malls? Do you like who are you? And getting really clear on that now, not who you were, not who your family is, not who you're expected to be, but what lights you up now. And, you know, I think to actually answer those questions honestly and truthfully without like the conditioning of the mind, we have to get into a place of regulation. Because if I'm asking from a place of being in that dysregulated state, or in that place of like looking for, like trying to fulfill an attachment wound, like we were talking about in the last video, then of course my mind is going to say, you're California, you're all things California, or you're all things Italy, you're all things that are familiar, because the subconscious and the nervous system don't, like, their number one job is to keep you safe, and so they want you to stay in the familiar, right? Going into the unknown, going into the chosen timeline, quantum leaping, that means going into the unknown. I've had a few conversations with some of my founding members of NŌVÉ recently about this exact thing, where it's like technology issues, or just like feeling like resistance towards using the app or doing the method, and like they're like, is this for me? Maybe it's not for me right now, maybe it's too much. And the way that I answered both of those was, number one, listen to your intuition, listen to your body. You'll know what is too much. Like, start small, do what feels right and what feels safe. Like, don't force yourself into any kind of work if it doesn't feel right, like deep down. But oftentimes, and I experience this as well, like even with EFT tapping or like any of the things that I love that are going to change my life, I have resistance to them often, or like my phone will stop working or whatever, because the nervous system, subconscious, does not want me to change, does not want me to go into the new, into the unknown. And right now it's about going into the unknown. The message that has been coming through so often recently is this, like, I think we're building on this discussion right now, checking the battery, but it's that we've been walking the line, the slack line from the kingdom within to reality, and we've just arrived. And you know, maybe you're still on the line, or maybe you've been off of it for a while, but like the process is walking that line, trusting. You're hundreds of feet up in the air, and you have to trust putting one foot in front of the other, and surrendering and knowing you're safe, and not giving into fear, not thinking about the worst outcome, thinking about the destination, keeping the vision of your chosen timeline in your mind, rehearsing it, right? Rehearsing one foot in front of the other. I'm going to get to the chosen timeline, whatever that is for you. And a lot of us have just arrived at the destination, like feet on the stone. We have made it, we're done. The slack line behind us turned into a bridge, and we've bridged reality to our inner kingdom, and it's time to bring that forward into the world. But who you became in that process of the surrender, of the trust, of the balance, of the letting go of the things that have been holding you back, or that would have caused you to fall, who you became in that is someone brand new. What you like now, and what you think about yourself, and what you think about the world, and what you think about your future might be different. It might be the same, but it might be a little bit different, and that is okay. And the only way that you can discover what those things are is by taking the time and making the space and asking the right questions. Like the wind is like my confirmation whenever these things come through. I'm trying to think like what else was meant to come in this message. The visualization that I was getting this morning, it was like this one song. I don't even know what it's called. It had 11:11 in it, but I kept getting the visualization of like kind of being around a bonfire. The wind is like, yes. But it was like a traveling bonfire. Like I was like leading bonfire kind of like songs and ceremonies. And I don't think it's like relevant to that exact situation, but something that we have been discussing in my sessions recently, my therapy sessions, is reigniting the fire. Like maybe your fire or your light felt a little bit dimmed recently. That's okay. Like that just meant that you, like in the book Kingdom of Ash, the last book of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Well, actually it was in kind of all of them, but like Aslan, the way that she discovers her power, the way that she like harvests more of her flame, because that's her gift, is she goes deeper into this like space that is in the unseen, but she like burrows and burrows and burrows and burrows and burrows. So she'll like do that sometimes for weeks or like months at one point, and she's just going deeper and deeper and deeper into this like unknown realm. And like right when she thinks she like finds the bottom, she's able to go deeper and deeper. And what that does is that gives like a bigger charge to her power in the reality that she's in, and like she has more fire to like use at her disposal for different purposes. And that's, I haven't like explored this thought before, but like that's maybe what you were going through recently, like being kind of in the darkness in a way, and being in that process on your own, walking the line and burrowing deeper and deeper and deeper, and finding more and more and more of your power, which will be, the wind really likes this one, which will be what carries you forward into this next chapter, and what helps you form your new identity. The other thing on identity is like, when you were maybe in that process, like maybe there weren't a lot of people who like quite saw you for that, and maybe like you were surrounded by people, or maybe you weren't surrounded by people, but people that just didn't really like see that part of you, like see your truth. And so sometimes it can kind of feel like you're like a bag in the wind, or like a tent flowing away in the wind, when you don't have those mirrors in this reality to remind you who you are. But these questions that you ask yourself, that you take the time and space to ask yourself about, they help you form those mirrors and those answers of who you are, without you having to seek that from other people, because other people sometimes will offer you like tremendously accurate mirrors of who you are, but oftentimes they will, in a way, you know, people can only see you through a lens of how they know themselves, right? Every single person sees you differently, and the experience can be still very beneficial, because like it doesn't really matter what they see of you, it's like matters what you feel about yourself in that dynamic. But I think what I'm trying to say is like, not a lot of people on earth probably understand your path and your process and your power. I think that's a good way to say it, is like, and you don't have to try and make that happen or settle in situations where like you almost think it's right. It's like the golden, what is it called? The golden, not the golden handcuff. It's like all that glitters. I'm trying to think now, this is like an oracle card. There's different things, but like, just because someone comes into your reality that like says all the right things, lives the lifestyle and whatnot, if your nervous system is telling you something about that dynamic and it's not feeling expansive, or it's not feeling safe, or it's not feeling like home, or it's not feeling expansive, trust that. Trust yourself. Trust yourself, I think, is like one of the most important things right now. Trust your path, and trust that sometimes, and this is what we're talking about today, sometimes people on a path like this, if this is resonating with you, a lot of times it's about walking it alone. My therapist has said like Jesus walked alone, was it for 40 days in the wilderness before like he was ready to come forward and speak. And I saw something on that recently as well. Moses, maybe? I want to like actually get more in touch with the Bible now that I feel pretty clear, and I will be able to see what I feel are the distortions and what is the truth. But pretty much what I feel to be true right now is that Source, God, will, I don't like using the term chosen ones, but like those who came to earth to make a difference, to show the way. You had to potentially walk through the dark forest with nothing but faith, with nothing but, yeah, faith, with nothing but your little lantern of your own light, your own essence, which is God, which is truth, that brought you through that, so that you could become who you needed to become on that line, and then teach, and however you're going to teach, and however you're going to create, and whatever messages you're going to bring forward into the world. But oftentimes that has to be done alone, and most of the time most people will not understand. And I guess that's like what California kind of I'm sitting with. I'm like, I'm not much different. I mean, I am. From when I left California, I was like a closet version of this, and like in certain conversations and relationships I was able to like bring this out, but I've discovered a lot of who I am in these last 3 years. and I'm hoping to go places that continue to expand that. And I don't know that California's that. I don't know. Every day it's different, and that we're supposed to trust the unfolding and see where that takes us. I think that's the message for today. If this resonated, please let me know in the comments. If you would like to try NŌVÉ, it is linked below. The link will give you the best discount for yearly rate and also free trial. And you can download on Apple and Android. And if you want to support this channel, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, you can leave a wolf emoji, or you can say long live Ladybug if you were here for that. I love seeing who has been here for that, or even since Switzerland. Like, the most special thing ever is when you guys tell me that you were here for those things, or like, you know, at any point. I'm so grateful to have you here. But it's like really, I think, special to me just to know who's been here since the beginning, because there takes a lot of, like, when it comes to psychology, I don't know what it would be, but like, to start following someone's journey from the very beginning. And this is what I share with my founding members as well. Like with NŌVÉ, when I opened the door for founding members, I didn't have like a landing page for most of that. I didn't have like very much information on NŌVÉ at all, but they trusted that calling and they said yes and they signed up. And I just am so in awe of people, we're not people, but like human beings having a spiritual experience, who trust that, right? And who say yes when it feels like a yes. And so for those of you who joined me early on, even though like you didn't know much about me, or maybe you didn't know like where life was going to take me or us on this journey, and you said yes and you've been here with me, thank you. I'm super grateful for that. And so I'll leave you with that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.